Welcome to the first lesson in our ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to speak about the definition of ChatGPT, which comes from the letters G for generative, P for pre-trained, and T for transformer. This is an AI model that was done by OpenAI. It uses a cutting-edge deep learning technique, which allows it to take an input text that was written by the user and respond back as a human. It was trained on a massive amount of data, such as texts, numbers, essays, and much more, which allows it to work on a wide range, as responding to questions that was written by the user, or translating to other languages, or even summarizing a very long text. The key to ChatGPT's success is that it uses the transformer architecture, which allows it to take the text that was written by the user, understand the context, and respond back with the best response ever. So to wrap up, ChatGPT is a chatbot, but it can actually help you with everything because it was trained on lots of data. Let's take Leia's story as an example. Leia is a girl who wakes up one day wondering about the colors matching of her clothes, thinking about the weather and some other variables. She goes to ChatGPT, starts typing a question, asking and giving ChatGPT the case, and ChatGPT actually helps her that day to pick her clothes in a good way. She finds it good, so she thinks about creating a mobile application to help her friends and family use the app that way. She goes back to ChatGPT, asks about how to generate the app, follow up step by step until she makes her application. After a while, she finds out that people do like her app, so she starts thinking of why not to go viral, why not to promote my application to be used worldwide. She goes back to ChatGPT, start to plan for a business plan, sales, and works on every script, video, anything needed for the marketing of her application until she ends up with a revenue generating startup. I hope you understand what ChatGPT is from Leia's story, and in the next lesson we're going to speak about how it works internally. Welcome to the second lesson in our ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to take a deeper look into how ChatGPT works. We're going to think about what is the algorithm that makes this possible. It is called the transformer architecture algorithm. It was designed to work on sequential data, such as texts. It helps the system to find patterns in an input text and respond back as a human. In order to train the model, ChatGPT used a massive amount of data from the internet, such as books, essays, web pages, and everything, which helps the system to take the input text, try to find patterns and relationships between words and phrases in order to be able to respond back to whatever was written in any topic in hand. When a user enters a prompt, the algorithm first encodes every single part of the input text into mathematical representatives to be able to deal with them and analyze them. It also works on a multi-head mechanism, which allows it to focus on every part of the input, each analyzed alone, weighed alone, and this happens with a very long speed in order to be able to respond back with a sophisticated response. Now, after we previewed the internal operation of ChatGPT, we need to see ChatGPT in action, and this is going to be our next lesson, so keep following up. Hello, welcome to the third lesson. In the previous two lessons, we spoke about the meaning of ChatGPT. We gave a brief explanation to how it internally works. Today, we want to preview a real example. This is ChatGPT, as you guys can see here. This is the interface that appears in front of people. This is where we can type in our prompts, and over here in this area where we receive our responses. I'm going to start by sending a greeting, for example, hey chat, what's up? Let's see what is the chat going to respond back to us. As you guys can see, it takes some time, but this time is actually very little according to the data that it scans to respond back. It says that it is an AI language model and it is here to help us. Yes, let's ask the chat to give us, for example, a good news about the world. Okay, I need a good news about the world today. As you guys can see, I have some mistakes over here. For example, good, there's no space, I have this question mark. Let's try to test what is the chat can do about that. Here is the positive news. It started telling me news about COVID-19 because it knows that it was a hard pandemic to everybody. I suppose it may give us some other news, but I asked only for one news, so it gave me one news, and It actually gave a brief explanation, which is good. Okay, good. Let's try to ask some personal questions like, do you know my name? And look what's going to happen. The chat is going to respond back smartly. I'm an AI language model created by OpenAI. I don't have a name. It doesn't assume that I am the person who created the account. So let's tell him our name. I am Maria. And the chat now is going to start using my name to respond back to me. And this is actually very smart. Now let's just type another type of question. For example, chat. Who is the best chatbot? I think that will be confusing for chatbot. So, who's the best chatbot in the world? Look, it says that it's difficult to say. It didn't say I am, but look how it uses this information. It says that, however, OpenAI's language model, including GPT-3, have received significant attention and recognition. So it started talking about itself and telling us how it is a very impressive and professional chatbot. And that is actually smart. So this is a small example for you guys to see how people may use ChatGPT. But we don't want to learn just to type questions and receive answers. What we actually need to do is we want people to be able to use it to become more efficient, to become living a better life, to improve and develop their careers, to increase their earnings. And that is what we're going to learn by the end of this course. So stay tuned and I'll see you then. Hello and welcome to the fourth lesson of our ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to preview the benefits of using ChatGPT, specifically for those who are unfamiliar with programming. So as you guys know, ChatGPT is a cutting-edge AI model, but it's actually designed to help people in order to solve their problems and complete tasks without spending much time and without actually searching manually. ChatGPT is an ideal tool because one of the key benefits of it is that it helps individuals to improve their productivity and efficiency. It helps them to think in a critical way, in a creative way, in order to solve different types of problems or answer different types of questions. This actually works on their own problem-solving skills, and this helps them in solving problems in different aspects in life. Additionally, ChatGPT can actually assist people in generating ideas for different writing projects. It is an ideal tool to improve your writing skills. Another advantage is that ChatGPT can help people to work on their language and communication skills, which actually makes them more confident, more effective, and maybe influencers. Finally, ChatGPT is highly used in different types of industries and careers. For example, when a student improves their own skills, they can actually advance in their career and they can easily achieve their potential goals. So as you guys can see, we demonstrated the benefits of using ChatGPT, and in the upcoming list of lessons, we're going to work on the potential applications of ChatGPT. Hello and welcome. In today's lesson, we're going to speak about how ChatGPT can help users save time. It can help them focus on higher value tasks. If you look around, you will see that we are living in a very fast world where time is a precious commodity. The more you save, the better. But how is ChatGPT can help us achieve that? Let's take the research industry as an example. If someone wants to do a research about a specific topic, they will spend lots of time gathering the information they need. They will also spend lots of time as well organizing the data they found. But ChatGPT can achieve that in a very fast and organized way. Let's go to ChatGPT and try. So here is a new chat. I'm going to start by typing, "Hey chat, I need help." Now the chat is going to respond. Of course, I'll do my best. "I am doing a research." And now chat should ask me, what is my research about? Smoking. Smoking is inhalation of the smoke, so it's telling me about what smoking is. Let's go with, "I need to know pros and cons." Sure. here are some pros and cons for smoking. So the chat now is going to start giving me the pros and cons of smoking in a list, like as 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's ask the chat to change it, for example, to an essay. Chat. Look, I asked it to change it into an essay, and it's going to start giving me an essay about smoking. And I can also ask the chat to give me an essay with a less amount of words, or maybe a higher amount of words. And as you guys can see, it is typing the essay. Okay. Now, after chat gave me the essay, I can ask chat to suggest a title to the essay. There you go. As you guys can see, there is a mistake in the word title, but here it is. It understands everything that I type. Okay. I'm going to ask the chat to give me the main points in this. Look what's going to happen. It's an essay. It's going to start stating the main points that I may need to know from the long essay written up. So as you guys can see, that was just a simple example to show how ChatGPT can help us save time and use it in a very precious way. Much more will be presented to you in the upcoming lessons. See you then. Hello and welcome to a new lesson in our ChatGPT course. Our lesson today can help people from different professions, majors, or fields. Why? Because we're going to speak about how ChatGPT can help generate ideas for content creators. So as you guys know, ChatGPT has the ability to generate text. So whoever is creating content can go back to ChatGPT asking for titles, objectives, lists, outlines, or whatever data that they need for their content. I'm going to start by creating a scenario and seeing what ChatGPT can help in that story. I'm going to start by typing the following. I am a life coach and I am working on a workshop like in avoiding depression. Workshop in avoiding depression. Help me, please. Please. So, as you guys can see, the help of ChatGPT is that it understands whatever mistakes that you create, as well as it gives you a base to start from. You wouldn't hold a paper, start from a blank page, start thinking about your workshop, spend too much time on that workshop. The thing is, ChatGPT gives you a base to start from, and this base is actually based on studies and trained systems where it actually can help in the best way. So as you guys can see the response here, it gave us some tips in avoiding depression. Now, this is when I start working on the data, on the parameters I'm giving to ChatGPT in order to take the best data needed in good time. So I'm going to start by asking ChatGPT to give me objectives to the workshop. So I need objectives. And for example, let's remind ChatGPT of the time. Remember, it is a 1-hour workshop. So giving ChatGPT these data is actually helpful because now it's going to start working on specific objectives. So it says here are some objectives for a 1-hour workshop on avoiding depression. It started to tell us to educate the participants, to provide them with some things, to encourage them, and some other ideas. After these tips that ChatGPT is giving me, I can ask ChatGPT for more specific things. For example, I need an outline for the workshop. So let's see what's going to happen for it. And once you say the word outline, I suppose ChatGPT is going to start giving us specific activities and tasks with specific timings. As you can see here, introduction. The introduction should take 10 minutes. Understanding what depression is, and that would be 15 minutes. And then showing some or sharing strategies about depression for 20 more minutes, and so on. So for now, we can actually start from this space, take this outline, adjust it in a good way, and adding our sense, our experience is the best thing that we need to do, because you wouldn't touch the hearts of participants unless you actually spoke about your own experience in the field. So For now on, as you guys can see, I built a base with ChatGPT, and this base actually helps in improving the data more and more. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT, for example, to suggest some activities. Suggest some interactive group activities. And let's see how ChatGPT can help on that. So now it's going to start off giving me a list of group discussion, different types of games, activities, interactive things to do inside of a workshop. Maybe we can add some more, ask for more time, or maybe we can adjust the timings according to these activities. Now I'm going to ask ChatGPT to make sure that I have the best content prepared. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to suggest a title. So while it's typing, I'm going to prepare a title for the workshop. And you guys can't believe how many good titles or ideas ChatGPT can support me with, because now it has lots of information to build on. So after we suggest or ask for a title, ChatGPT is going to start stating a group of titles for us. Look at the titles: navigate stress and depression, finding joy and resilience, take charge of your mental health, and lots of titles. And this is how you can deal with ChatGPT. You can actually ask for variations. You can ask for whatever you need in order to create the best content ever. So that was a short example to how to use ChatGPT for content creation. I hope that was helpful. And of course, you can use it in lots of other topics as well. See you next time. Hello. Welcome to a new lesson in our ChatGPT course. In today's lesson, we're going to speak about life hacks. How to make your life simpler, easier. How to use ChatGPT to be your life guide instead of going to people and asking them about things. So for example, let's imagine I need a suggestion to a specific product. I would go to the social media websites or maybe to the WhatsApp group where I can ask people about. I can type in my question, wait for people to respond. And I may not give much answers as much as I need. I need to read every response, see which one would suit me, ask more about it, and take more details, and that is actually a long time process. Instead of that, let's try to use ChatGPT for such life hacks. For example, I'm going to start by typing into ChatGPT to suggest something good for me. For example, Chat suggest a good hair drying. And let's see what is Chat going to say to me. It started giving me a name. So I suggest not just one suggestion, a group of suggestions for hair dryers. Babyliss Pro Nano, Titanium, Dyson Supersonic hair dryer, and some other types of dryers. Let's be more specific. Let's ask about where to find them. For example, wherever we live. So where can I find them in Amman, Jordan? So let's go. Where can I find them in Amman, Jordan? And it started saying that you can find hair dryers in different stores, department stores, beauty stores, and so on. So it's starting me giving me names, and I can ask ChatGPT to be more specific. I need or stores. Okay. Here are a few additional stores in Amman, Jordan that you can find hair dryers at. It's starting giving me Carrefour Market and so on. So that's good. It actually gave me an Amana Center, different places where you can actually buy hair dryers from there. This is where you can go seek for numbers, call them, and ask if that was available, and just go pick whatever product you asked for. Good. Let's think about different types of hacks in life that we may need. Let's imagine that we need a food recipe. So I'm going to go by. I need a food recipe. Okay. Recipe. Using, for example, chicken and vegetables. I'm going to go with veggie. That's it. Here is a simple recipe for delicious and healthy chicken and vegetable stir fry. And it started giving me the ingredients of this dish according to the internet, according to the data it was trained for. And that may be a good dish. I don't know. I never tried it before. Okay. let's go and ask about, for example, a more specific recipe. Make it for two people. So once you ask Chat to make this recipe for 2 people, it can actually give you the same dish with actually a different amount of ingredients to make it suitable for 2 people. And that actually makes the easy work for you. Instead of calculating how much am I going to put if I'm going to make a small recipe or a bigger one, and so on. Okay, let's think about different types of questions that we may ask ChatGPT about. Let's imagine today is a rainy day and we're bored at home and we want a suggestion for a game or something. I can go with Chat, suggest a good indoor game. Okay, game to play with my kids. Well, and let's see how is Chat going to help us do the following. There you go. Here are a few indoor games that you can play with your kids. It's starting giving me board games, charades, and balloon tennis, blow up, and started giving me how to play the games actually. Okay, let's imagine I like the fourth one, treasure hunt. I can go with, I have 2 kids, 4 and 7. Suggest the good treasure hunt game, and I can also ask for clues. Roll clues. You know that a treasure hunt game is a game that you play by looking for different clues and making these clues help you go and find specific things in different places. So there you go. Treasure hunt is a fun, exciting activity game. It tells me what does the game do, and started actually giving me the clues that I can type on papers to play the treasure hunt game with my kids. So these are a group of examples how ChatGPT can actually help us in everyday life, and it can actually be very, very, let's say, effective, because let's imagine I have a suggestion of 2 different products and I want ChatGPT to tell me what is the difference between them, to be able to pick which one would suit me better. That is exactly what ChatGPT can do for you. That's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for watching. Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing so well so far, because after watching this video, I promise your week is getting way too better. Because today's lesson is about studying and students. As you guys know, students may face lots of problems during their studies. So instead of paying money for people to help them overcome those problems, we can actually find a very impressive smart tutor called Chat GPT. So let's go to Chat GPT and try on some real examples. So going to ChatGPT, let's start to imagine different students from different majors, what things they may need help in their studies. So I'm going to start by typing, I am a literature student. I need help in proofreading a story. So let's imagine a student wrote a story, and I'm going to type in the following story. For example, a girl lost a leg. She feels sad until a true friend in her life, she made her become positive and start enjoying school and life. And once we send the prompt, let's see how ChatGPT is going to respond back to us. So as you guys can see, of course, I'd be happy to help you proofread the story. And ChatGPT is actually writing the same story, but in a very good language with other vocabulary words that can be actually helpful. And remember, there have been some mistakes in the story, in grammar mistakes and other stuff. They all are corrected here. So let's think about asking ChatGPT to highlight our story's mistakes. Highlight my mistakes. And sending this to ChatGPT, ChatGPT starts to tell the correction of the highlighted mistakes over here, like there should have been a comma after the word a girl, and some other mistakes that ChatGPT can spot in my story. So this is what a literature student can do. Okay, let's think of other things that ChatGPT can help students in. For example, write me another story with different details. And going, there you go. a young girl named Sarah had lost her leg in a terrible accident. She feels depressed. And so ChatGPT is actually creating another story with other details, but he's keeping the same concept of the story, the lesson that the story gives, and other things that students may work on, focus on in their homeworks or stories and so on. Now, let's imagine a student from a different major. For example, a student who works in something like a programming major or engineering. A student may need help in a project. So a student can ask for suggestions for tutorials for projects. I am an engineering student, and I need help in project. Need help in finding tutorials, for example. Tutorials for electronic projects. And ChatGPT can start giving the suggestions needed for the student. So starting by telling a student that they can watch, for example, YouTube videos, going to different websites to find these tutorials and books and some other solutions. Let's say I need to be more specific. Maybe I can ask ChatGPT to provide me with links. So asking ChatGPT to provide with links, that will be a great help. And as you guys can see, the links are actually pickable, where you can press on them and just go directly to the website. For example, let's click on this link over here, and then you would go to a website where it actually can help you with electronics projects and so on. Okay, now let's think of different things. For example, a student can ask ChatGPT to help explain a concept. For example, I need help understanding division. So let's see. ChatGPT is going to start explaining what is division and what does it mean, and it will also give some examples. As you guys can see here, this is a written example to show, and this is an equation, and some mathematical symbols as well are shown over here. So that is actually a good explanation. And if it wasn't clear for a student can ask for a simpler explanation. For example, you can tell that you are a young child and you need help in explaining in simpler words. Imagine I am a 7-year-old child. Explain again. And ChatGPT is going to start explaining in very simple words and examples to make sure that the student actually understands it in the best way ever. We can also ask ChatGPT to translate to other languages. For example, I can go with translate the first sentence to Arabic. And let's see what's going to happen. Sure, here's a translation of the first sentence into Arabic. And this is the first sentence, and ChatGPT is actually now translating, and it's going to give us the meaning of the sentence in the Arabic language. As you guys can see, here it is. And by this, we can actually see that ChatGPT can help students from different professions and different majors and different things, and that is a very impressive thing. Okay, let's think about a different concept. Let's think about coding. You know that nowadays people are studying very developed professions and majors in universities. So let's try to see if ChatGPT can help us in this. So I'll ask for a code. I need an HTML code. Let's see what is ChatGPT going to ask me to give data. Here's the basic HTML code. Good. So as you guys can see, the code is actually typed inside this box, where a student can just copy this code, take it to apply it in another program, or where this code can be used. We can also ask for explanation. For example, explain what does this code do. After it finishes sending, it already started explaining over here before asking for explanation. So it started telling us that the word HTML does this, the word header does this, and the word main is talking about this part of the code and so on. So there's no need for this sentence over here. That was a very good explanation of how ChatGPT can actually be your own personal tutor. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Everybody, welcome to a new lesson in our ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to speak about emails. So as you guys know, everybody is using emails nowadays. We're using emails in work, we're using them in online services, we're using them with friendly or let's say family communication. And we actually have to know how to write emails in a good way. In today's lesson, we're going to see how is ChatGPT going to help us generate professional or let's say good emails. I'm going to start by writing a simple prompt here for ChatGPT to see if ChatGPT can actually write for me a good email about thanking a friend for coming to my birthday party. So I'm going to go with write me an email to my friend, thanking him for attending my birthday party, coming to my party, and let's say mention that, okay, let's say I appreciate the gifts you brought. And that's it. Okay. It says, thank you for coming to my party. That is the subject, dear friend. Here's where you're going to type the friend's name. I hope this email finds you well. I just wanted to reach out to you and express my gratitude for taking time to come to my party over the weekend. Your presence has made me good and so on. Okay, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to fix the email by, for example, make it more friendly. So I'm just going to write 2 words, more friendly. There we go. Once I asked Chat to make it more friendly, it understood that I need the email above to become more friendly, and it started by saying, but then instead of dear, hey friend, and then it started to say, I wanted to reach out to you, give you a huge virtual hug, and that is actually a friendly response over there. So remember, you can take the email the way it is, or maybe you can adjust it in a way where you can put your own sense of humor or sense of communication with your friends. Okay, let's go more professional. I'm going to try by asking ChatGPT to type an email for me, for example, about something in work. Let's say I want to ask for 2 days off because of going out of town. So, right, and blue help for work to ask for 2 days off to attend a conference. And let's see, what is ChatGPT going to do about that? It started by saying, request for time off to attend a conference, and dear, the name of the manager, I hope this email finds you well. I'm writing to formally request time off for work to attend the conference. And as you guys can see here, Chat started actually typing the reason why would someone need to go to a conference and how is that going to be helpful for work. That is actually a good email, and it is a long one. You can make it shorter. So this is another request to ChatGPT to make the email shorter. Okay, that's good. So let's think about some other options that we may need to write emails in. Let's have an example that I received an email from a friend and from work asking me about why was I late that day. Okay, right? A reply email for work to tell that I am sorry for being late to work, including there were roadworks, and I had to take another route. And let's see, what is ChatGPT going to do about that? So I asked ChatGPT to write an email to work to tell that I was sorry for being late that day because of some roadworks. And it started by apology for being late to work. I wanted to reach out to apologize for being late to work. Maybe not apology, but justify. So let's see, how is it going to adjust my email above? By removing the word apology and writing the explanation or It's justifying why someone would have been late for work. And as you guys can see, I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to explain the reason for why was I late for Enroll to work today. Unfortunately, I encountered unexpected roadworks, and as you guys can see, that is good, best regards, and your name. So that was a short brief, 3 different examples of how can we use emails to make our work, career life, or communication better. Stay tuned, because in the next video, we're going to speak about how to automate all of this on our own email pages. Instead of coming to ChatGPT, typing prompts, taking the text and putting it there, we can actually do all of this in our email, and that is going to be our next lesson. See you then. Welcome to a new lesson in our ChatGPT course. Today's lesson is a very important one. You know why? Because it talks about career, jobs, profession improvement. These things are actually very important to everybody. So as you guys know, whenever people want to look for a job, they can get nervous. They may not know where to start from. They may need help doing their CV, doing a good format, a very professional CV, writing a good cover letter. What do I write in the cover letter? What not to write? And whenever we think about the job interview itself, it actually gets really annoying sometimes. So instead of asking people to interview us or things about how do we look, what do we avoid talking about, and other things, we can actually let ChatGPT be our coach. It can be a very good career coach. So let's go to ChatGPT and try to see what things can ChatGPT help us with. For example, I want ChatGPT to help me prepare some SCV, for example. So I should prepare the basic data that ChatGPT can ask me for. I prepared the data over here. So I have here the name of the person, the age, the number, the studies, the major, the experience, the skills, and whatever data I may need to include inside my CV. And let's say I added some references. Of course, this data I prepared is about someone, let's say, virtual. And I'm going to type in this data here. But before I type in the data, I'm going to go with Chat, help me create a good, or let's say a professional CV using the following data. And I'm going to paste the data I prepared already, and there we go. So Chat is actually going to take the basic data, take every single input, prepare them in a good way, and start giving me a CV. Look here. Name, age, contact number, education. It started by typing each one of them. Experience, the name of the company, the city, and the amount of professional experience years, skills, language, references. And it's starting actually giving me a different type of suggestion. Here it is. And it's starting actually adding some sentences by its own, thinking about what data I gave, how can I actually write this data in a very good way, typing the name of people, numbers, and everything that I need. Okay, let's imagine I need a good format. So I can go and ask for a good format. I need links, okay, to online websites where I can find free CV formats, okay? So that was my question. I need ChatGPT to give me some links to websites where I can actually find some free CV formats, to take the information that was given to me by ChatGPT and pasting this data to those formats, using them, creating a professional. And as you guys can see, it gave me Canva and some other websites over here where you can actually find free CV formats. Good. Now let's think about other things about CVs. For example, I can think about a cover letter. According to the data above, okay, write me a cover letter. And go. So here is a simple cover letter using the information above. It started writing dear and the name of the person, and you guys can't believe how this can be actually professional. It will be written in very good language with very specific nice words where you can actually take the same thing, adjusting some things that you want to mention or you don't want to mention in your cover letter. Good. Okay, let's think about things about the job interview for specific. Let's think about if I didn't know like how to do in a job interview. So I can go with like, what things should I avoid in job interviews? There we go. What things should I avoid going to a job interview? And ChatGPT started giving me things that you shouldn't do during job interviews: arriving late, being negative, talking too much. You see, so it's actually giving me some good tips about job interviews. Yet, that is not it. You can actually help it, ask it to help you in your looks. So, about looks. Give me 5 minutes. You guys can't believe I'm not typing a long question. I'm just saying clues about looks. Give me 5 minutes. And now ChatGPT is going to start thinking about my appearance in a job interview. First impression. Your appearance should be this or that. And this is amazing. This is the best answers that may be found in the world. Why? Because ChatGPT was trained on hundreds of data. Okay, let's go more specific. Let's ask ChatGPT to help us in, for example, the job interview itself. For example, okay, I'm going to say, can you train me for a job interview? And I want Chat to ask me questions where I can answer them, and then Chat can tell me, is this a good answer or no? So as you guys can see, it said, yes, I can certainly help you prepare for a job interview, and there are some tips and strategies. It said, research the company, prepare the papers you need. It's giving me tips. Yet I can be more specific. Okay, I'm going to type in, I need you to ask me questions as an interviewer. And I'll answer. I need you to ask me questions as an interviewer. So as you guys can see, we have lots of data up. Now Chat has my CV, it has my cover letter. It can use the data above and ask me questions about interviews. It gave me a list of questions. Okay, I'm going to type in, ask me one question. I will answer. You can proofread. Right answers. And there we go. I said to Chat, I need you to ask me one question. I will answer you, and then you can proofread my answers. So Chat started telling me, can you tell me about a time when you had to work with a team to achieve a common goal? And it said, please type in your response below, and I'd be happy to proofread it for all. Yes. I did everything alone. For example, let's imagine someone says that they did everything alone, and it was good. Let's see, what is Chat gonna say about my answer? So my answer was, yes, I did everything alone and it was good. And it's giving me a good example on things that I have to highlight while talking about teamwork skills and so on. So this is a very simple example of how ChatGPT can be your career coach. It can prepare the papers for you, the cover letters, the data, whatever you need, and it also can train you until you make sure that you're actually ready to go to the interview. And that is for our lesson today. Remember, we will always have some more hacks to do. Remember to always be tuned, stay tuned, and come to every single lesson that we preview. Thank you. Welcome to a new lesson in our ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to speak about emails, how to automate email responses using the help of ChatGPT on our own email. First of all, we need to download a specific extension that helps us to activate ChatGPT on our emails. And then we have to make sure that ChatGPT is active in the background on another tab to make sure that that extension appears once we want to, for example, reply to a specific email or something. So first of all, let's go to Google to add the extension. I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to type ChatGPT Writer Write Mail extension. And there it is, ChatGPT Write Mail messages with AI. And here it is. We're going to press on add to Chrome and adding the extension and waiting to the extension to be downloaded or installed on our device. Now here it is. It was actually installed and that's it. It should be active by now. So let's refresh the page over here on ChatGPT and refresh the page over here. And we're done with this extension. Let's go now to our emails. As you guys can see, I have an email here sent from someone anonymous, and that actually is me. And this email says the following. It's under the subject course refund, and it says, to whom it may concern, I purchased a Python training course on your website yesterday, but I want to refund my money because I found out that I don't have time to spend studying the course. I know that your refund policy is a customer cannot refund the money before reviewing 25% of the course material, but I can't. What should I do? So in order to respond to the email, we will go to press on reply over here. And this is where we can type in our new email. And as you guys can see, here is our extension. It appears over here. Sometimes it may not appear from the first time. You may have to go up to the extensions above and make sure that your extension is pinned, so it is actually activated. Remember to make sure that ChatGPT is actually active in the background before you try to use the extension. So going back to the email, I'm going to click on this button over here, and ChatGPT Writer asks me to type in here a prompt. What do I want the reply email to be about? So I'm going to type in the following. I'm going to ask the customer to try to watch 25% of the course, or we can offer keeping the money in their account for another course for later. So ask the customer to try to view 25% of the course, or we can offer keeping the money in their account for another course. And I'm gonna generate the reply. So here is my answer. ChatGPT is now generating a response for us. Let's read what did we receive from ChatGPT. It says, dear customer, thank you for reaching out to us regarding your recent purchase of our Python training course. We understand that sometimes circumstances can change and make it difficult for us to complete what we started or to complete a course planned. In accordance with our refund policy, we do require that customers review at least 25% of the course material before requesting a refund. We believe that this helps you to ensure a good understanding of our course and giving our website a second chance. If you are unable to review 25% of the course at this time, we would be happy to keep the money in your account as a credit for a further course, and that's it. Please let us know if you'd like to proceed, and so on. Remember to just insert the generated response to your email. Remember to adjust the name over here and the name over here of the person who's in charge to respond back to customers. And whenever you finish this customizations, you can click on send, and you will find out that the email has been sent to our customers. And this is actually a very special way to be able to generate emails in a fast and professional way, and of course without going back to ChatGPT. That's it for our lesson today. Thank you very much and stay tuned. Welcome to Enroll. In our lesson today, we're going to speak about the impact of ChatGPT in the business world, specifically in marketing and sales. So let's think of different scenarios and see how can ChatGPT actually help us in marketing our products. For example, I have a long description of a product, and I want a summary to this description in order to use this summary on my website or on my channels. So let's go to Google, try to search for a specific product, for example, a controller called Arduino Uno, and let's say this is the page or the web page that have the description of this piece. By taking the link only, going back to ChatGPT, I can type the following, TLTR. And this actually means too long, didn't read. And I'm going to paste my link over here. ChatGPT will understand by itself that I need a summary to the thing that was written on that link over there. So it's going to give me the summary that you guys are going to see right now. There you go. The Arduino Uno is a microcontroller based on, and this is a good short description to the product that I was searching for. So this is one example. Another example is that I can ask ChatGPT to give me other things that I need for these products. For example, I need some keywords to work on my SEO, to work on my website, to make sure my website is an SEO-friendly website. So I'm going to go with the following keywords. And just by typing the word keywords, ChatGPT can help me. There you go. Microcontroller, Amiga, input-output pins, and whatever important data I can use for this specific product. Now, let's imagine I have notes of something and I want a longer summary to that specific thing. For example, I watched a video on the internet, I took some notes, very short keywords, and I want these notes to become to a text, to be able to understand what was the video about. So as I prepared here, I have a group of notes prepared here. These notes are about cybersecurity, the uses, and what is the operating system, and some tools for hacking. So for example, I'm going to copy paste these notes to ChatGPT over here, and I'm going to write notes to summary, and between brackets, I'm going to paste my notes and then send the prompt to ChatGPT. As you guys can see, Chat started writing a full text about cybersecurity and what does it do, what are the uses of ChatGPT, of cybersecurity, and what does it include, and other things that somehow were mentioned in my notes above over there. So that is actually a helpful thing. And it also suggested a title for the chat over here. Now, let's think of other things. For example, let's imagine I'm a cybersecurity coach or a trainer and I want to prepare a lesson or something according to that. I can ask ChatGPT to help me brainstorm for ideas. For example, brainstorm ideas for cybersecurity and, for example, virtual reality videos. So let's see, where is ChatGPT going to take us on this? Here we go. Here are some ideas to combine cybersecurity to the VR. It started by telling us how to combine virtual reality, cybersecurity training, and it's giving me ideas. And that is actually helpful for those who wants to improve their business and work on their products in a better way. Okay. Now, thinking of a different thing, since we already started talking about cybersecurity, let's imagine I want to promote something, promote my course, promote a product or anything that I want. I can actually ask ChatGPT for help for advertising my product. For example, I can ask for the text that I'm going to use in my advertisement. So I'm going to ask Chat to give me the following. Provide me a text to use in an ad for his cybersecurity course. Let's see what is ChatGPT going to help me on this. Attention, all take, look at this. It started giving that lovely tone of calling people to attention. It shows them what skills are they going to get from this course and some other information a person may need to see in an ad. That is good. Now we can look for more parameters. I can adjust my ad. For example, asking ChatGPT to make this exact text more friendlier. So I'm going to go with more, let's say, make the ad more Facebooky. And let's see what's going to happen. Look here, ChatGPT started by adding some symbols and shapes and so on. So this actually is an easy and fast way to promote our products and to market them and to work on our sales departments in the best way we can. That's it for today. And remember, we always have some lovely hacks. If you are a manager, someone who works in projects where you have to deal with people, control, guide, follow up with them. Sometimes you may have to deal with lots of data, files, meetings, and much more. Then this lesson is actually going to change your life. Because in today's lesson, we're going to speak about ChatGPT's help in business world, specifically in managing our work and making it more organized. So let's go. Let's think about different types of fields where ChatGPT can help in business. Let's imagine that I'm a manager who was actually working on a project where I had lots of unstructured data. ChatGPT can actually help you parse this unstructured data and organize data, give a good format to them, make a table for you. For example, let's say we're going to use the following data. I prepared some notes over here. Let's imagine someone is working in a group of projects with different schools and different students. So I prepared the following data: the name of the school, the student, the grade, and what type of project are they working on. This is unorganized, unstructured data. I'm going to copy them to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to work on this data. So let's say parse unstructured data, and I'm going to open in brackets, paste the data I have. As you guys can see, I wrote an example. For example, the name of the school, the name of the student, which grade, and her project is the pet feeder. And I gave the ChatGPT a format, how to prepare this data. And now I'm going to send a prompt and see what's going to happen. So ChatGPT actually takes my example and it organizes my data the way I want. So it started with Aman Academy, Ahmed, grade 5, Sarah, grade 8, the project's name is Smart Hub, Montessori School, the name of the student, the year. So this data is organized now with these lines where you can see the difference between the name of the school, the student, and the grade, and the project they worked on. Good. So what other things can actually ChatGPT help me in? For example, I had a meeting with my team, and in the meeting, I was taking notes. And these notes were actually unorganized with very short tabs of each, for example, department or person in the meeting. So I prepared the following notes as well. Let's go over here. I have the meeting minutes over here. Marketing, they said for promotion videos already in 2 days. Sales, still preparing the expansion plan for the next month. Communicating with new potential customers. For example, the HR department are working on hiring new programmers, and the trainers are working with different trainees, and the due is on 15th of March. So I'm going to take this data, copy it, go to ChatGPT and ask Chat to prepare an email where I can share it with people who attended the meeting about meeting minutes of the following. And I'm going to paste the data I already wrote previously. And let's see how is ChatGPT going to respond to this. So, subject, meeting minutes. Dear team, I'm writing to provide you with the meeting minutes for our meeting, and we have to write the date of the meeting over here. And look how it organized the data. So it gave each department a section where it wrote exactly what did the team do and what did the team say and what are they gonna give later and so on. And as you guys can see, it's also adding some more information over here. Please let me know if there are any additional points that we need to be added to the minutes or that we may need to remember. So that is good. So let's think about a different thing. Let's imagine I have a meeting with some new trainees that are attending the company. And let's see that how can ChatGPT actually help me to do with the trainees? So for example, Chat, help me outline enrolling for 1 hour with trainees and between brackets, welcoming and guidance, for example. And let's go. So as you guys can see, this is the response that ChatGPT gave me. It gave me different timings for different tasks or things to do during the meeting, an introduction, and these things can be done in the introductory section, and then tell them about the expectations, and these are some other points, and so on. That is actually a great help. So now you have a base to work on. You start with this paper, and you start by adding some more points about the company, adding some more information, examples, and much more. This actually can be shared with the trainees before the meeting starts. So this is a great help from ChatGPT. So as you guys can see, we previewed some examples where ChatGPT can help me in working in management, and these are only very few examples. You can't imagine how many other applications we can do with ChatGPT in the management field. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Hello, welcome to our lesson. In today's lesson, we're going to speak about one of the potential services that ChatGPT provides, and that is in the customer services departments in companies. Now, as you guys know, in business today, a top-notch customer service is a must for the success of any company. And we need to know how can ChatGPT actually help us there. Let's think of a group of scenarios and then see what ChatGPT can help in those. So let's imagine I am an online platform who serves with courses, and my customer support department is facing the following issue. So as you guys see, I'm going to type the following. Hey, Chat, I need you to write a message to a user who purchased a course and filed the refund the next day. However, our website's policy states that the refunds are not available until after user previews at least 25% of the course's material. Once I send the prompts, let's see what is ChatGPT going to do about that. ChatGPT starting writing a message, assuming that we're going to send it in an email or any messaging service. It says that dear and the name of the user. It starts by thanking the user for purchasing the course, yet it's telling to explain the refund policy. And as you guys see here, it's explaining it, and it says that you have to watch 25% of the course's material. And it's also suggesting the user to give the website a second chance to preview the course and so on. So this is actually very special. As you guys can see, you can take this same exact message, or you can adjust it in a way that you see that can help your company. Okay, let's think of a different scenario. So now what we want to think about is, for example, in different types of businesses, for example, a website that sells products. And let's imagine that the customer reviewed some products, added them to the basket, but still didn't purchase. How am I going to let that help my company? So I'm going to go with the following. A customer searched in our website, added some items to the basket, but didn't complete the order. Our customer support system wants to suggest some other products or maybe offer some extra discount. I need ChatGPT to write a message to the user to offer a token and suggest some other products. And once I send the prompt, you guys are going to see the very special, speedy way of responding. It started by telling the user, hey, thank you for visiting our website, considering our products. We noticed that you didn't complete the order. We would like to offer you a token of appreciation. As you guys can see, look at this. It's starting by giving a discount, a percentage amount. It wants me to add these things and to also add a promo code for the customer. And it's also suggesting some other products and so on. So this is actually a special response, a smart idea from the ChatGPT to send in a very neat and polite way. Let's think of a third scenario. For example, in the food industry, let's imagine an issue happened in the delivery. Like, for example, the delivery man mixed two orders, and that sometimes can be very frustrating for customers. So let's see, what should we type into ChatGPT? So this is going to be our question. The delivery man mixed orders, handed the wrong order to the customer. To make it up to them, we will offer a free meal by providing customer the 100% promo code for the next order. Write me a message to the customer and I'm going to send it. So as you guys can see, here is the response that came from ChatGPT. It started by talking to the customer, apologizing for the mistake that happened, and then offering the promo code over here. And it also says that we appreciate their understanding. We hope this gesture demonstrates their feelings and some other professional stuff. So as you guys can see, ChatGPT is actually helpful because it can provide us with some professional responses, which allows us to make some loyal, satisfied customers. And I believe that is the aim of every business. And of course, we can use it in many other aspects as well. So that's it for our video today. And remember, we can use ChatGPT in many different fields and majors in life. not just in business. Hello and welcome again. In our lesson today, we're going to learn a new feature about ChatGPT. But there is an impressive thing about this feature is that we're going to use it on our own drive, like on Excel sheets or Google Doc files. Today, we're going to learn how to install and activate that feature. So let's go to the drive together and see what do we need to do. So going to my drive, here is my drive. I'm going to start by adding a new Excel sheet. Here we go. In this Google Sheet, I can actually use ChatGPT directly to the data I have on the sheet. But first, I need to add an add-on. And today, we're going to learn how to add this add-on and install it on our drive. I'm going to go to Extensions. And as you guys can see, the word add-ons appeared over here. We're going to click on Get Add-ons. This screen appears to us, and this is where we can search for add-ons to be added. As you guys know, there are lots of add-ons that we can use with Excel. I'm going to type in the search bar up here, ChatGPT. And let's see, what do we get? And this is it. Here is our add-on that we're going to add. It's about GPT, and it was done by Tellurian. So I'm going to click on it and go to click on Install. And of course, you have to give permissions. You have to make sure that you log in to your own account. This is it, my Gmail account, the one I'm going to use, the one that I already activated ChatGPT on in the first place. As you guys can see, it shows you what are the things that are allowable once you download or install this add-on. And of course, you have to make sure you have only one account connected in order not to make trouble using the feature with other accounts as well. So I'm going to go give a permission by clicking on allow over here and then wait for a while. And it shows me some description over here, like where do I find the add-on in my document file or in my spreadsheet. So let's go to next. And then it says that there are 2 additional steps to work on, but they're not necessary now. Click on done. And as you guys can see, the button here changed to uninstall. So the add-on is actually added to my Excel sheet. I'm going to click on close and go back to the extension section on my sheet. Once you click on the extensions, you guys will see that my add-on appears over here. As you guys know, to activate this, we have to enable it, but we also have to set some API keys. And this is what we're going to explain in our next lesson. So in this lesson today, we learned how to install the add-on to our Excel sheet files. And let me show you something. If I go back to my drive, start a new document file, I will find out that the add-on is actually added to my file. So clicking on the extensions over here, I will find that the same add-on is activated already. So you can do these steps on the Excel sheet over here or on a Google Doc file. That's it for today. In the next video, we're going to learn how to activate and enable this feature. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new lesson in my ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to complete what we started in the previous lesson, which was using ChatGPT on our own Excel or our own Drive documents. The thing is, whenever you're working on a specific content, you may come to ChatGPT, write a prompt, and then send the prompt, see the text you received, and then take this text, copy it to your own file in order to prepare the content and keep a copy for yourself. Right? Even though that ChatGPT keeps every chat that you did before over here, but yet you want to keep your own version where you have the logo, whatever you need, whatever files for your work, for your school or studies, that you have to have a copy. So rather than coming to ChatGPT and working here, we're going to work on our own drive. So let's go. The thing is, I'm going to go to my drive and start a new file. So here I am. I'm going to go to the drive and start a new Excel sheet. I already created an Excel sheet over here under the name Chat GPT with Excel. I'm going to enter to my file and start working on the Chat GPT feature. The first thing is to make sure that you installed the add-on. So to make sure that we installed the add-on, I'm going to go to the extensions over here. And as you guys can see, here it is. For those who didn't watch the previous lesson, let me remind you, we go to add-ons, we go to get add-ons. And once we get this screen popped up here, we go and search for Chat GPT. And once we find this is the one that I installed. As you guys can see, it says installed, the one that was created by Tellurian. We click on it, we install it, we give permission, and that's how we get it on our own drive. The thing is, let me try to test this feature. I'm going to go here. I'm going to start with typing GPT and then opening brackets, starting with saying hi, close, and I'm going to go with enter. There it is loading, but it gave me an error. Look, what does it say? It says that your API key is incorrect or no longer valid. So this is the thing that I'm going to teach you today, how to create a valid API key. Because whenever you work on Excel sheet with ChatGPT, you have to make sure it's activated, it's enabled, and you have a correct API key. How do we create our API key? Okay, let's leave this slide over here. Delete. And let's go check what we can do. Going to the extensions, going to the add-on below over here, there is an enable button. Let's leave this step for later. We have something called set API key. This is where you have to go to your playground to get an API key and paste it over there. So going to the playground, here you go. I'm going to go to ChatGPT playground. ChatGPT playground. And once you go to the OpenAI text classifier, this is your ChatGPT space where you can go to playground, and this is my playground. Now, to generate an API key, you can go click on your personal account on the top, going to view API keys. Once you go to the API keys, you guys can see this is my API key. You don't have to use the previous one because it won't appear to you anymore. You have to create a new secret key, and after you create this key, it's going to be given to you in this box. You can copy it over here and then take it and go to the ChatGPT, going to the Excel over here, going back to the extensions section, and going to set API key. Once the screen appears, you have to go and paste the API key and check for it. And then it's going to give you a message where it says that your OpenAI key is valid. Save the API key. And this is actually what you have to do. Now, whenever you activate the API key, it should be active as long as you already paid your accounts fees and everything is okay. The thing is, you have to make sure that you enable the feature on every spreadsheet. So any new spreadsheet that you want to work on with ChatGPT, you have to go to extensions, go to the section where you see the add-on, and enable the ChatGPT function. Okay? Once you enable it, it says that it's enabled. That's fine. Let's go. I'm going to writing my GPT functions. So I'm going to go with equals because it is a function. Go with GPT, open the brackets. And as you guys can see, it takes many variables. The prompt, the thing that you want to ask about, the value, we'll speak about that later, the temperature, the max tokens, and the model. So let's start with typing the prompt. Remember, you start by adding the double quotation and then write whatever prompt you want. I want 5 cars names. And then you can close the quotation, the brackets, and there's no need to add the other parameters because they're optional. Once you click enter, there it is. It's loading, and just a minute. There you go. It gave me 5 different names of cars. So as you guys can see, I already activated it, I enabled it, I added my API key, and I tested it. You can try whatever you want. Go to another slide, start with equals, GPT, and then open your brackets and go with, I need a tagline for a flowers shop, and close your brackets and enter. Let's wait for a while until it loads the data. Here it is, bringing beauty to your life with every bloom. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. You first have to download the add-on, activate it by bringing an active API key from your own playground, and then enable it and do whatever you want. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to a new lesson in our ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to speak about some features and variables that we may need to adjust inside Google Sheets whenever we're using the ChatGPT add-on. So as you guys know, in the previous 2 lessons, we added an extension that is related to ChatGPT. and we activated and enabled this function. But to be able to use these functions over here, we have to know more about how to adjust our prompts and different values and temperature according to what data do we need. So as you guys can see, I prepared here some data. These are different features that I may need to know about different types of fruits. So I'm going to start with typing GPT and then deciding that the prompt that I need to know is this feature according to this kind of fruit. And I want to also put the value 1 to the temperature variable, because the temperature is a variable that works on the creativity of ChatGPT. So if I didn't use the temperature as 1, it's going to be taken as 0, and this actually makes ChatGPT less creative. I'm going to close my bracket and send my prompt right now. As you guys can see, it's answering me that apple is not a color. But once I drag it to the next cells, ChatGPT is going to start understanding the pattern, and it's going to start giving me responses according to the data I have over here. So it went with the shape of orange is somehow oval. The size of mango can be vary depending on variety of things. If a medium mango can be 4 to 8 inches long and so on. The weight of avocado may be between 5 and 20 ounces. So ChatGPT started understanding my pattern and acting as what I need. The function that we may use with ChatGPT is the GPT fill function. And this function actually works on taking examples and filling other cells according to the example we worked on. So I'm going to start with preparing my data. For example, I may need to know about a fruit color. I may need to know about an animal weight. So these are two different types of things, and these are two different types of features that I may need to know. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go with equals, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to fill for me according to the following example over here. And remember to adjust the temperature to 1 and send your prompt. It started by giving me the car, and it's asking for its fuel efficiency. And if I drag this to the cells below, I'm going to end up with more items asking or previewing different types of features that people may need to know about them. So that is a good helping function with ChatGPT. Goes with a person's height, a computer's processing speed, a car's fuel efficiency. So that's it for today's lesson. In today's lesson, we saw some GPT functions or GPT ways to be able to use inside Google Sheets in a smart way to get data in a good way without actually writing a long prompt. Thank you for watching. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new lesson in our ChatGPT with Excel series. In our lesson today, we're going to work on some extra features, and we're going to work on the prompt engineering. As you guys know, whatever prompt you type, you do get a response. Yet, sometimes when you control the features of the prompt, when you add more data and give variables, ChatGPT will be way too smarter and will give you the exact response that you need to work on. And this is what we're going to work on in our Excel sheet using the ChatGPT functions. So the first thing is, let's start thinking about the following. For example, I worked with GPT and my prompt was write an email to my boss thanking him for whatever I want. Rather than doing this, I'd rather do the following. Prepare my data on the side. For example, task, tone, to, or let's think of the topic, and to. And I'm going to go with filling each one of them with write an email, a joyful one. The topic is thanks for the flowers. And I'm going to go to ask, for example, to my boss. Good. So going to a different kind of cell, let's add the ChatGPT function and select the data we prepared up here. So now ChatGPT will work on these data to create my response. And of course, we should add the other parameters, for example, the temperature, and enter. So as you guys see, I got my email. That's the subject of the email. And I've got here a message to my boss. I just wanted to express my heartfelt gratitude for the beautiful flowers and so on. Let's go up here and change one of the variables. For example, I want an email for my friend. Good. So once I click enter again, ChatGPT is going to change the response over here according to the data I included up. And again, dear my friend, I wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude. Good. So let's change another variable. For example, I'm going to change joyful to angry. Why would anybody write a thank you email feeling angry? Let's check. What is ChatGPT going to do about that? Good. It says, not happy about the flowers, dear friend. I recently received the flowers you sent. Thank you. However, I was a bit taken aback because I asked you not to send me any. Good. So as you guys can see, ChatGPT is actually creating reasons for people according to the features that we give. That's good. That's smart. Good. Now let's think about a different thing. Why don't I give different values and receive different prompts? So I'm going to work on the follow. First of all, I don't want to write an email. I want to write for example, a tagline. A tagline. Okay. Let's keep the tone joyful. And let's work on the topic. The topic is the flowers shop. And I'm going to go with, I'm going to remove this to, because the tagline is not to a person. And let's add the following. Country. Let's imagine that we want ChatGPT to prepare different taglines according to different countries. For example, Italy, Jordan, and maybe China. Good. So going next to Italy over here, I'm going to start GPT. And then this is the data I want you to include in the prompt, but the value is for this specific country, which is Italy. Good. And now let's add the temperature function. And remember, put a $sign next to the number and the letter over here to make sure that the prompt each time is specified exactly for this value. And enter. And let's see, what do we get here? It says, happy blooms, bringing a little bit of Italy to your doorstep. Good. Now I'm going to drag my function down to the other two countries. And as you guys can see, ChatGPT will adjust the prompt according to the country. It says, put a smile on your face with a bouquet from Jordan's flowers. And here we go with blooming joy from our China flower shop. That is actually very smart, including different features according to different variables. Good. Okay, let's work on something else. Let's imagine I want a list of things. So I'm going to go with GPT, a list of 5 fancy cars. Okay, send my prompt to ChatGPT, see what do I get. Good, I got a list of 5 fancy cars, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston, Rolls-Royce, and Bentley. The thing is, this is not an actual list. This list is created in one cell. So in order to adjust them, you have to work on the cell itself. So I'm going to show you a very good feature, and that is the ChatGPT list, where you go with the following: GPT underscore list. Here is our function. And then you will tell ChatGPT to give you names of 5 fancy cars. Let's see the difference between this prompt and the one before. So I'm sending it now. And as you guys see, what do I receive? Let's wait for a while. I received a list of 5 different cars, even though they're the same I got here, but I'm actually receiving them in different cells. And this actually allows me to work in each one of them and adjust the data I received. So that's it for today. Today we worked on the value parameter, where you can give lots of features and change different values in order to get different responses from ChatGPT. We also worked on the GPT list function. Thank you for watching. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new lesson in my ChatGPT course. In our lesson today, we're going to speak about ChatGPT, but not here in Google Docs. So let's go. I prepared a Google Sheet on my own drive. Here it is. I named it ChatGPT with Google Docs. As you guys know, We already tried ChatGPT on Excel, but this is the first time we're going to work on ChatGPT in Google Docs. Remember, we added the extension from here, from the add-ons section. We got it from the Get add-ons. The thing is, whenever you add the ChatGPT add-on to the Excel sheet, you just have them added to the docs, to the whole drive files. Good. So going to the extensions, coming here to the GPT, remember, if you didn't set the API key over there, you have to set it right now. Good. Now, the thing is, it's not the same as in Excel where you can use functions. You have to go to the add-on and launch the sidebar. And you're going to get a sidebar over here that has anything to do with ChatGPT. Now, as you guys can see, first of all, you have different types of actions, and these are suggestions from ChatGPT. So look here, you can change the tone whenever you write something and you want to change to an angry tone or other type of talking tones. You can pick this one. Fix grammar and spelling, good. So if you have a story that you wrote it and you are a student, you want to work on it, you can let ChatGPT help you fix the grammar and the spelling, or summarize something if you have a link of a PDF file, or maybe you have a whole text that you can paste over here and just pick the summarize mode. Then it's going to summarize the text for you. Maybe it can translate it from English to French, from English to Arabic, and other things like that. Or maybe just write a custom prompt and ChatGPT will do the work. So I'm going to pick the general one, write a custom prompt. This is where we write our prompt over here, and we have to submit our prompt in order for our prompt to be added inside our document. So I'm going to go with the following. Put your cursor wherever you want your data to be added and go with the following. Name 5 cars and submit your prompt. There you go. Name 5 cars: Toyota, BMW, Honda, Ford, and Audi. As you guys know, we have other parameters to work on, as the temperature over here. And this here is the model. Text DaVinci 003 is the API model that's actually responding to us on the Google Docs over here. So remember when we had the temperature, for example, for 0 and send the same prompt. Let me show you a very nice trick. Whenever you click on the prompt, it's up here, sent back to you to use it. So let's try to see what's going to happen if I actually click on the same prompt this time. Name 5 cars with the temperature parameter turned to 0. I'm going to submit it. Yeah, I don't name 5 cars. It's going to give me 5 different names of cars. Yes, but not if I wrote name a car and then name a car again. Okay, let's check it here. Name a car type, for example. And I'm going to submit it. And there it is. See, done. I'm going to submit it again. No, I need to click on it and submit it again. It gave me another kind of car, but yet repeated the steps done up here. So as you guys can see, this is automation. The first time I asked for a car, and then it gave me a description for the car's name. And then it gave a different type of car. It gave a different description. That's good. So let's work on a different thing. For example, I have a story. Let's write our story here. A girl, 5 years old. I'm going to put some mistaken columns and stuff like that. Happy, always, fell down, lost a leg, became sad for many years until, let's put a spelling mistake over here, a friend met her and helped her get, let's say, happy again. So, okay, so as you guys see, this is a story about a girl, but this story is actually unorganized and it has some very short clues and stuff like that. So the thing is, after you change the mode over here, I'm gonna go with, for example, fix grammar and spelling. It says highlight the document where you want me to apply this specific selection. I'm gonna go and highlight the text over here and then submit my prompt. So ChatGPT now is gonna work on fixing the grammar and the spelling mistakes about this text over here. Look, a 5-year-old girl who was always happy tragically fell and lost a leg, becoming sad for many years, but then friend met her and helped her to regain her happiness. So that is a short story, and it was actually fixed in a very good and easy way. This is one of the features where you can use. And if you want to try each one of these for summarize, for example, you can grab a text and enter the text that you want to summarize over here, submit the prompt, and check what's going to happen. Translate to, where you have to write the name of the language you want, for example, Spanish, and for example, French. And you can go highlight the text over here, enter, submit your prompt, and ChatGPT is going to do all the translation for you in a good way. Here you go. Here's the translation of the text highlighted above in the French language. So as you guys can see, ChatGPT on Google Docs can be a very good help for us. Remember, always keep your temperature and a higher rate. The highest is number 1. So whenever you have a high temperature value, it means that the GPT will be so creative for you and it will be so helpful. This is a brief explanation how to use ChatGPT in Google Docs. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome to a new lesson. In our lesson today, we will introduce a very impressive AI tool that is called PDF GPT. This PDF tool is actually very helpful because it is a smart one that takes any PDF file that you want. It operates something on that PDF file, it reads that, and it gets ready to answer any question that you want that was actually mentioned in that PDF file. That actually can be helpful for any person. A person who's studying and seeking a specific information from their subject, they can use it if it was a PDF file. Another person who's actually trying to generate questions and answers from a specific subject or a topic or something, they can also use this tool. Let's go and test our tool together. We're going to go to a new tab. In a new tab, we're going to type PDF GPT.io. Once we click that, we get to go to the PDF GPT.io. First of all, because I used it before, I didn't have to set my API key. But if you were a new user, you'll have to set your API key. So once you click on change API key, this is my API key. Either I can cancel or I can go to API's playground, get my API key from here, create a new one, or just take a previous one that you used before. You have a copy of it, and then go back, paste it over there, and save it. Now, once you save your API key, you're in this screen. It's an easy use interface. First of all, you can upload any file you want from here, or you can drag and drop any file and just leave it in this area and it will be uploaded for you. Once you upload the PDF file, it's going to do some processing on it and give it some time. It's going to be ready for you. It goes like, processing is done. Now you can add questions and answers with a chatbot about this specific PDF. Once you click OK, you can see that it actually gives you a short description to this file over here. And it's also giving you an example of some questions that you can ask about this PDF file. So this PDF file I uploaded is a description for a RoboFest competition that is happening in 2023 in May, and it includes the rules that any member needs to know about this competition. The thing is that you can just close the PDF file if you don't want to see it over here, or you can show it again and scroll down, preview it. But this is not what we need. We just actually need to ask questions about this PDF file. So good. Let's go with the following. I'm going to type my question over here in the prompt side and send it and see what response do we get. I'm going to go with the following. What is the date of the competition? And send your prompt. Wait to the tool to respond back to you. It goes with the following. The date of the RoboFest World Championship is in May, and so on. And you can ask any other questions. For example, how long is the submitted video by the students? For example, how long should it be, or so on. Once you send your question, it's going to respond back to you. And if the answer wasn't mentioned in the PDF file, it will tell you that this answer wasn't submitted over here. So once you read this, you'll get to know that the video should have a specific length that is about 4 minutes and so on. So this is our tool. You also have some other options over here to change the mode to a light or dark mode, to watch a demo video about how to choose this tool, or to join their Discord channel, to go to the Twitter page, and some other things that you may use and they can be helpful. So remember, go to pdfgpt.io, try the tool and see how impressive it is. Hello and welcome to a new lesson. In our lesson today, we're going to be introducing a new AI tool that is called Train My AI Questions and Answers Generator. It actually helps in generating questions and answers to those questions from any text that we give to the tool. So let's go and get introduced to this tool. I'm going to go and open a new tab. In this tab, I'm going to write train my AI.ai and / questions and answer generator as it appears over here. Once you go to this tab, you will get to see this page in front of you. In this page, first of all, you have to enter your API key because it links it with your own API keys on OpenAI. Good. So I'm going to go down and you can skip signing up or just going to the API keys page from OpenAI, fetching an API key. You can go to the fourth option over here, which says that you have to copy and paste your API key over here. So I have my API key ready to be copied and I'm going to include my API key over here and I'm going to verify if this API key is working. Once it's verified, I go inside to the second page. In the second page over here, it says that you can enter any text and in this text, it will generate questions and answers for you. So let's go get text and try to use that text. So I'm going to go to a new tab and, for example, type what is Python Wikipedia, for example. I want to get the Wikipedia page about Python language. I'm going to copy the text that I need from this page, no matter how much long it is, and I'm going to go back to my page and paste my text over here. The thing is that you have to pay attention to one thing, and that is the separators between paragraphs, because you have to define this to the tool before you actually try to generate your questions. So you have to come here to paragraphs and decide if the paragraphs are being separated by single returns or by blank lines. And I'm going to choose blank lines because, as you can see, I have blank lines between each paragraph over here. Good. Now I'm going to go and review the paragraphs and it shows me the paragraphs I pasted, and you can go and ask for different sets of questions from each paragraph. We can generate a single set of questions of a specific number of questions of each paragraph. For example, generate one set of up to 5 questions for each paragraph, or you can generate more other variations, so you can end up with 2 sets of, for example, 3 questions for each paragraph. And once you decide this, you have to know that this has an estimated cost. Why? Because we're actually using our OpenAI's balance to do this. Good. I'm going to go now and click and start generating. If you want to change the text you're using, you can click here. It'll just remove this text, give you an option to add another text, and you can click on start generating and wait. Now our AI tool is actually generating questions for us. It's reading the paragraphs and it's scraping questions and answers from our paragraphs. And whenever you see this is the first set of the first paragraph, and below here is another set of the same paragraph. So sometimes it gives the same questions and answers, sometimes it gives variations. And as you can see, it's generating questions and answers from any text that we just paste to the tool. So as you can see here, we have a group of sets. This is the first set, this is the second set, this is another one and another one. The first 2 sets belong to the first paragraph and so on. So this actually is helpful. All you need to do is just to copy these questions and answers, take them, add them to a text file or to any document that you want, and use them for whatever you want. So remember, go to train my AI questions and answers generator and copy a text, add your API key, and test the tool and see how impressive it is. Hello and welcome to a new lesson. In our lesson today, we're going to introduce a Google Chrome GPT extension, and that is impressive and very helpful. Our extension today is about GPT with YouTube. The extension actually is being downloaded to our Chrome or our web browser, and then after we upload it to our browser, we're going to go to YouTube and see how the extension can actually fetch the transcripts of the video and take it to GPT, allow us to, for example, search for specific information that was said in the video, or give us a summary to the video, and so on. So let's go download our extension and see how to use it. I'm going to go to a new tab and I'm going to search for YouTube Summary GPT extension. YouTube Summary with GPT extension, that's the name of the extension. Once you click on it, you can see the first page over here about going into this extension. This is it. The name of it is YouTube Summary with GPT, and you should add it to Chrome. Once you add the extension, it should be activated on the web browser specifically related to the user in here. So you have to make sure you logged into your user because the extension is going to be added to the user's page. I'm going to go now to YouTube page. I'm going to refresh the page. And as you guys can see, the extension appears at the top over here. Once you click on it, you can review the transcripts of the video. And let's imagine I was watching the video and I reached to this point over here. There is an icon over here that can actually jump to that specific time of the video at that exact second, 19.14. So it appears whatever is being said in the video at this moment appears over here. Good. This also helps us with going to other languages. If this video had different language scripts, you can actually see different ones, the Bengali one, and this is the English. Good. Another thing that we can copy the transcripts, take them wherever we want, and keep a copy from them, and so on. We can also click on the GPT icon, the OpenAI icon that appears over here. Once I click on it, it's actually going to take us to GPT script. And as you can see, it pasted the scripts of the video over here. So now we have a GPT chat page that already read the script of the video, analyzed it, and it's giving us a summary over here to that. And then over here, you can ask any question that you want from the description above, or just go with continue and send this continue to GPT, and it keeps on giving you more information and so on. So this is a way how we can link any YouTube transcript file to our GPT, keep a new chat about it, ask about it, read about it, and so on.